I hope to God this is the last part I have to do, but I'm going to do it because there's still a lot more evidence I've gathered, and I'm just trying to present as much as I can. And I'm glad I was able to start an uprising because a lot of people started to go against this guy, including Valentino, which we'll get to later, who is now against the Lord Monocle guy, all because of what? Because of my videos. So you're welcome. And I know the last two videos, I said I would update those videos if I got any more information. But because I'm not trying to make a million parts on this whole thing, this video will get updated in the description and the comments with dates when said information was unveiled. But enough prolonging what I actually want to talk about. So let's actually talk about it. I'm going to keep the confidentiality of all said individuals, and I'm going to be trying to provide footage but also paraphrase a lot of what they said, because this guy is that deplorable that he's going to dox anybody that he deems as a quote-unquote traitor to him. Now, I'm not going to directly show the footage so nothing bad happens to this individual, but what I will do is I have the entire conversation written out, so I'm just going to read it out from word to word. A lot of this is paraphrased, so keep in mind with that, as well as any names that are said by said individual will also not be named to protect everybody involved with the situation. Individual. I will give you guys info on him if you please will promise me to leave after. Silly fella VR. So you're not friends with Monocle? Individual's response. He was in here because he's friends with my friends and I have to kind of be nice to him, otherwise I'm scared he'll dox me too. He's doxed someone in the has-been code named Inaudible. Monocle has doxed one of my friends. Well, not really my friend after what he's done to me, but also I know it's wrong. Someone in the code named Redacted, he has doxed his information. Monocle has doxed him. I do not trust Monocle. I have to be nice to him, and I'm friends with him on Oculus, yes. Zoc. That's your first mistake right there. That's your first mistake. Individual's response. I know, but I have to be nice to him, otherwise he'll dox me too. Random person who joined. But you can't dox in Gorilla Tag. Individual's response. No, Redacted or Redacted had also made the dumb decision to friend him on Oculus. That's how we got the info from him. Random person who joined. But you can't, at least not anymore. Individual's response. Okay, look, he got Redacted's information through Oculus friending, and then went in Gorilla Tag, and I think from what I'm hearing, doxed Redacted in one of the codes. Silly fella VR. Okay, this question is personally from Zoc's video, but why does he play Gorilla Tag? Like, why? Why does he play it? Individual's response. I don't know. Zoc. Are you scared of him? Individual's response. Yes. Silly fella VR. How old do you think he is? Individual's response. I believe he is an older person on the internet. He claims to be 13. He also claims to be 17, 15, and now 13. There is no way he is 13. He sounds over the age of 20. Allegedly, though, he is 11, but it also could be false based on a lot of things that have been said about him. 17, 15, 13, and now he is 11. The rate this is going down by is 2 years, probably to hide the fact that he's starting a Lord Monocle party. Zoc. What do you mean he is 11? There is no way he is fucking 11. Silly fella VR. Dude, I heard his real voice. He forces his voice and I heard it, and he sounds so young. Individual's response. Does Redacted ring a bell, or perhaps Redacted? He told Monocle this, my information, because I trusted him and he trusted him, but now we don't. I'm sorry that was all over the place. I tried to get most of the conversation into a sensible order, but I ended up just taking it mostly for one-to-one and what was said and just said it here. But let's actually talk about it so we can at least try to make sense of some stuff that's been said. I think the first thing we should talk about, and the most complicated thing, is this guy's age. This is probably the most confusing factor of this all, and silly fella's claiming that he's 11. Now, to hell if I know if this is true, but I'm going to leave this guy's age for a mystery. But everything being considered and all factors being factored in, I've determined that he's probably between the ages of 13 to 18. Maybe 13's pushing it a bit, but you never know if this is some bitch-ass middle schooler who's going through a fucking phase in his life. But I'll leave it up to all of you who are probably smarter than me and honestly doesn't want to make a fucking another part on a series that, well, should have only really had one video made on it. I think the meat and potatoes of this all is the doxing. Now, there's no actual sufficient video evidence or any concrete evidence that this is actually happening. I think we can safely assume that he does this kind of stuff, that he doxes people's first names and all their information just because they don't agree with him, or that he deems them as a traitor. Because this is a lot of people that are going against him. A lot of people are saying things about him and saying that these things that he does are true. And they share a lot of common ground when it comes to this. So I think, again, we can safely assume that what is being said about him is true. Because while there is no evidence to prove it, there's a lot of people and a lot of witnesses that are saying otherwise. Which also means that my quote-unquote interview with him is basically just a bunch of bullshit. So thanks, Monocle, but in the end, you didn't really fool me because you're just a bullshit liar and a filthy fucking weirdo. I can't believe that the most normal response this guy likes to give is to dox people. And that's kind of sad, to be honest. Look, there's a lot that has been said about him. And I could go on and on about the endless things that this guy has done. But I'm not going to repeat myself anymore. And I'm only presenting more evidence just to try to get the word more out there. And making 3 parts isn't really, well, suitable. But to be honest, I have a channel to do. I'm not a guy who exposes weird people on the internet. And while the Valentino video can be an exception because that was just kind of to show that, and also another video that I forgot about, again, I want to leave this up to people who actually know how to deal with things like this. Oh yeah, I forgot. I got told that Valentino doesn't like Lord Monocle anymore. So thanks, Valentino. Despite you having a lot of supposed weird history, you're taking a step in the right direction. So good job. Anyway, I'm going to leave this situation in charge of someone else finally because, well, again, I'm not willing to do so many parts on this. So go subscribe to Silly Fella VR. His channel is in the description. This is probably someone who is willing to take more of an initiative to do something about this guy than I am because I can't make infinite videos about him and I have other content to upload other than exposing the same guy with the same points but with just more and more evidence. So, I don't want to be repetitive is what I'm trying to say. I'll still try to be involved with this whole situation and still try to put a stop and end to it all. And I got told even after I made my first video that people actually started to take a stand against this guy. So, thank you to all the people in the Has-Been Code and all the people that are aware about this guy and the shit he's doing. Because it is deplorable and it's some very loser behavior. He calls me a lowlife, but do I even have to say anything to defend myself? Alright, thanks for watching. Regular videos returning soon.